I was talking to Steve, who is on the staff here at Capital Harley Davidson, also follows the channel, and he's like, dude, why do you got your bike in here again? I'm like, well, I'm getting a couple stuff done. I'm like, dude, I just can't help myself. Why is it we're always modifying the bike? And he gave me great words of wisdom. Steve said, because we're dudes and we can't help ourselves. Those of you that follow the channel, yeah, I know I did something to the bike, and I've talked about no upgrades to this 2024 Road Glide, but it's mostly minor upgrades because I'm still not going to do any large stage kits or bars or anything like that. Trust me on this one. This time I swear that's the case, but I did do a couple things. By the way, if you like corn, move to Michigan or Nebraska, one of the two. They got a lot of corn in both places. But focus, Blaine, focus, will you, dude? Come on. What did you do to the bike? Well, going back when I first got the bike, it comes with a front crash bar, but nothing to protect the bags. So I wanted to get something on the bags eventually, and I'm like, you know, I'm gonna try that new bar. I think they call it the flat out bar. And so I put the flat out bar on the front of the motorcycle, and I really do like the look. Haven't had to use it yet, fortunately, but I really do like the look taken over for the stock one. So I decided that I wanted to get something on the back eventually. So what I did was, and pardon me, I'm not exactly sure where I'm going here, but I got half a tank of gas, 2 packs of cigarettes, and never mind, that's a movie. You know what movie that's from? Half a pack of cigarettes on our way to Chicago, no gas, something like that. Maybe I'll find that little clip from the Blues Brothers. So I decided to go ahead and put one on the back, and it sits right down here. You probably can't see it. Probably shouldn't turn my head sideways and lean off the bike to show it to you, but I'll show it to you here in a little B-roll. So I ordered that, I don't know, probably 6 weeks ago, and it's just been back ordered, and it finally came in. So I was gonna go pick it up, and you know, of course, one of the challenges to get something like that is you can't bring your bike to get the flat out bar on it. Really, I guess you could. So I'm like, okay, I'll just go by and pick it up. What are we doing here? Come on now. I was gonna beep the horn, but why do I need to beep the horn when I got pipes? So it's not necessarily easy to get these flat out bars on the bike and take them to your house and do them, which I was going to do. A little bit of a project, but it didn't look that difficult. And then I started thinking more, and with me, that's kind of dangerous. Also, when I bought the bike, the stock exhaust sounded like a sewing machine. And of course, one of the things that we always do, especially if you own a Harley, is you put some slip-ons on it. So I did that, and honestly, that's the only thing I was going to do. Wasn't going to do a stage 1, definitely not doing any more stages beyond that. But I put some new, beautiful sounding pipes on my bike, and it was just going to leave it at that. But then, and I said it in another video, I really was not a huge fan of the stock air cleaner. Now, all of you that have a 2024 and love it, doesn't mean I dislike it. I just wasn't really sure that one, it took a lot of space. Boy, really, now that it's gone, whoops, I guess I just told you. But now that it's gone, boy, it does give you a little more space for your leg. Even though it really didn't hinder that much, I really just didn't like the look, to be honest with you. But I didn't like the look of the new one either, necessarily. But it's grown on me over time and seeing other people's bikes. So I guess you kind of figured it out. I figured, well, I had to go get the flat out bar. I might as well just finish the stage one, which is go ahead and get the air filter, air intake changed out, as well as put a tuner in it, since I have the pipes already. So now it is a full stage one. So, you know, I didn't get a stage one, honestly, for the power. I think they say it's 10% more power. As you saw in last week's video, this bike has enough power. I don't worry about that at all. So we will see if I can even tell a difference here when we get on some open roads, because I did just leave the dealership. But I really did it, one, because I just didn't like the look of the air cleaner. And since I had the flat out bars I was going to put on the back, I'm like, all right, let's just, one of you guys do it. I know the service manager, so I was just talking about what I was going to do. And I'm like, hey, dude, I got all these parts there. You know, what would it take? And he's like, 2 hours, Bob. A couple $100. I'm like, done. So I've been at the dealership for a couple hours, kind of hanging out, talking to the service team, and you saw my feedback from Steve, who's a good guy. Steve, I met Steve when he was delivering my 21 Road Glide for some work that I had done at my house, which was really cool. I remember, and I'll put a link to that video. I remember when he was delivering the bike. He opened up the trailer and we walked in there, and he's like, he's like, I'm like, yeah, it's good to have the bike back. And he's like, you mean Duchess? And I'm like, dude, how do you know the name of my bike? And he follows the YouTube channel. So I got to spend a few minutes with Steve, just chatting, checking in on him. Such a good guy. And it's just cool to be able to, you know, I can hang out I don't care what anybody says, I can hang out at the dealership for a couple hours. I mean, there's just good people looking at bikes, talking about my KLR that I traded in. That was sold to a subscriber, by the way, and raise your hand if you're that guy, please. They said that you were pleasant to deal with, so hope you have many, many years of riding on that bike, because it is a fantastic bike. So I went in and I finished the stage one. Somebody always asks me, and by the way, I always leave links in the description of all my videos on all my gear. Anything I've done to the bike, any gloves, anything like that you may want to check out. You can always go to that. Now, they are affiliated links, so that means I get a couple pennies on if you buy it, but it doesn't change the price at all for you. It's just an Amazon link, pretty much. So a way to help support the channel. If you ever want to buy off of Amazon, you do it through one of those links. It'll help any YouTuber out that has affiliate links, and it just helps. Honestly, it's enough money to help put gas in the bike every now and then. So it's not a ton of money, but I always have that so you can check those out. I do not have the receipt in front of me, obviously, because everybody will always ask the price. I will tell you that the flat out bars, and again, I ordered those 3 parts a month or so ago. So the flat out bar for the rear cost this, and then 1 hour to install them. Again, for finishing the stage one, again, I have pipes already on the bike, and by the way, I'll link that video as well because I love them. The cost for the tuner and the air intake is there, plus 1 hour of labor. So I think for those 3 parts and the 2 hours of labor, it was roughly $1,600. Definitely not chump change, but it's really something that I wanted to do to the bike. And if you've followed my channel from the beginning, you'll know that I get on these little soapboxes saying I'm not going to do any more upgrades, and I always do upgrades. So I might as well just quit lying to myself and everybody else. I guess I could have tried to avoid that manhole back there. If I put two hands on the bars, that may help. Focus, Bob, focus. But I will tell you, and I've talked about the new 24s, and one of the reasons I like it is, one, the suspension is upgraded, which is, in my opinion, I don't think I need to change the suspension. So much better than the previous bikes. And the bars are upgraded. I can tilt those up, make them however I want them. So there's not a lot to do to it. The bike is, as I talked last week, a 117, and it has plenty of torque and horsepower, more than I need. So I will not be doing, if I say it enough times, I will not be doing any more stage kits, because one, once you go to stage 2, I think you're getting in the $3 or $4 grand, and it just doesn't really make any sense at all. So I am not going to do that. But I will tell you that I am happy with the bars, the flat out bars on the front and the back. I think it gives it a cool look. And they're really tip over bars. They're not crash bars. They're tip over bars. So if you tip them over, it's just going to knock off hurt these little ends, and you can go ahead and order those things. I think they're like $40 or something, instead of your bars all scratched up and crap. So that is nice. And then now that I have the stage 1 on it, I really don't need to do any, and the tuner on it, I really don't need to do anything more with the motor. So I am good to go. And now we just keep riding, and I'll make sure in future videos, after I get some miles under it, to let you know if the additional air in the tune helped it at all. So far so good, but we'll give it some time, then I'll give you feedback. Appreciate you guys coming along. Been getting a lot of messages going, dude, quit teasing us, what are you doing, stop it already. And I can't do that. I gotta roll it out a little bit, right? Forgive me. But if you got any questions about what I did or anything else, let me know. I do have to say that I got this done at Capital Harley Davidson. This is where I buy my motorcycles. It is where I buy my gear, because they're good people. They keep the number right, so they're not trying to gouge you. They have Sea-Doos and everything else in there now. Nowadays it's hard to just have old Harleys, I guess, but the ownership, the service team, the clothing folks, it's, they know who you are, and honestly, they're just good people, and they're not just trying to sell you something all the time, which is kind of nice. So appreciate, as always, Capital Harley Davidson's work and support of me and the channel, and wish you all have a great day, have a great rest of the week. Be safe out there, check on a friend, and I'm not going to show you me blown by this guy in the car in front of me. Be safe. Talk to you soon, folks. Bye-bye. Peace! Alright, let's give it a little run. Anyway.